We have the most awesome adventure coming up. One neat thing about this house is there's letters from a guy who used to live here during the French and Indian War, who wrote to George Washington, who was a commander, I think he was the commander of the Virginia militia at the time. Again, we were a colony of Great Britain still, asking for help because the Indians were attacking down here. They're going to allow us to detect because looky here, it's for sale. And we made a deal with him, you see. We said, hey, how about you let us metal detect your home and we'll advertise it for you in exchange for permission. So they like hemmed and hawed, but finally they said, sure, we want to sell it. So let's just take a quick walk around the house. I'm going to show you what we're dealing with, and then we're going to start detecting because I can't wait. Take a quick walk. I'm going to show you the front of the house. And this is outside of Winchester, Virginia, by the way. But it's an awesome place. Look at this thing. I really love this little room down here too. I guess this was like a root cellar or something back in the day. This property down here goes with it. I'm not sure how many acres. This is the older part of the house. I think this is the original part that was built in the 1750s. Look at this cistern. This is really cool too. This is the summer kitchen right here. Look at this. This is where they would have cooked during the summertime when it was really hot. And they didn't want to heat the house up. But it is a beautiful place. There's lots of good ground here to detect. And guess what? We're going to get started right now. Okay, before we get started, let me show you how I'm going to have this thing set up. Garrett AT Max, we're going to turn it on. Going to go to, got plenty of batteries, 0 program, maximum sensitivity for now. Zero discrimination. I'm just going to keep it like that for a few minutes so you can hear what it sounds like here. Now we want to ground balance if we can. May not be able to. Okay, let's just go with that for now. There's a piece of iron or something right there. So let's just take a listen to what's in the ground. I'm going to put my headphones on in a minute because that dog is driving me crazy. But that's a piece of iron. We'll look at that together in a minute. So it's not too bad. I'm going to start right here by the steps. You can see this was dug out at some point for some reason. Well, let me show you this thing. That's a piece of iron that I saw laying there. It's actually pretty cool. That, I believe, is a molten iron in iron furnace nearby. That's pretty cool. It's really heavy. Awesome. There's a little something right here that's just laying on top of the ground. Don't know if it's old. If it's even good. I don't know. I'll unfold it, take a look at it later. It's definitely like copper, but I don't recognize it as being anything like super interesting. That's a view of the house from down in the bottom with a new barn. Right here where I'm digging is there was an old building here. I'll show you the foundation in a minute. I had to get out of the yard, and well, I'm like 40 minutes into the hunt. I mean, I got nothing in the yard that was old, worth going back over, but just not good enough to make me want to stay there. And I have a bag full of junk I will show you right after this. Okay, right here. That's the best signal I've had in the last 40 minutes, which is pretty much all day. Don't worry too much about making a mess because this is all going to be pushed around. We just need to make sure we fill a hole in, that's all. All right, hopefully that got it. Now something really small, which is actually a pretty good sign. Oh, what is it? Is that it? Oh no. First thing I'm seeing is corrosion, which telling me that's probably going to be zinc. Yep, that's it. So that's a piece of zinc. Let me show you what I found so far. Now, just to warn you, I'm super jonesing for any type of old thing. So I'm digging all the questionable signals, which means I'm digging a lot of iron. I've already emptied my bag once up at Todd's truck. I dug this in the last 20 minutes or so. Basically, not much of interest. The spike is pretty cool. That's a nice hand-forged spike. Could date from 1700s to the 1800s probably. Bunch of iron stuff, some modern rifle casings or pistol casings. This is a piece of a musical instrument, I do believe. Not 100%, but I suspect it is. And zinc, and it got a little lid that's modern. And that's it, man. But yeah, this has really been tough. I mean, there's plenty of iron. There's lots of pottery in the ground. You know, I suspect up near the house, that's been all pushed around and landscaped over the years. So the good stuff might be down real deep. But out in the field here, and we've only come from the house to here. We have all that to check yet. So don't give up. We'll get some good stuff. I can almost promise you. Almost. This is the foundation. I want to show it to you real quick before I forget. I just came from where I showed you all my junk. You can clearly see where the wall goes down that way and around here. I'm standing in the middle of it. There's all kinds of stuff going on down there. Wall goes this way, up here. I can't really tell if this was a house or a mill or some other type of building, but I suspect it's really old. It might be worth digging right here. Just like dig, just to see what we come up with. But first, I think we ought to just keep surface hunting. Didn't get much around that foundation, so I decided to come over here where the movies are. Looks like there's part of the foundation there. Pretty peek it over here too. This is my best find so far, which is a broken axe head. Right off the stream, you can see that. The clicking you hear is an electric fence. I wonder what Todd's doing. I haven't seen him in a while. He's on the other part of the property over that direction. Let me tell you why I think it's a shoe buckle. Why? Okay, so it's that brassy stuff. It's kind of thin, but if you look right here, see the swelling on that side and that side? Yeah. That's where the thing would have gone across the middle. It would be pinned right there. See, on both sides it has that swelling. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a colonial era shoe buckle, which is my first find that I actually want to show on video, even though we've been here like 6 hours.
And I haven't found anything either.
It wasn't 6 hours. It's been a while, but we're loading our bags up with stuff. There's nothing good, but that's the first one. Yep. We're going to be all over it. I see little pieces of brick here. Maybe this is where another structure's tied. A Spencer casing. This is a rimfire cartridge from the Civil War era. Don't know if it's a Civil War drop, but it very well could be. That's where I found the colonial shoe buckle in the Spencer casing. Decided to come up here near the road, and you can see where the guardrail is up there. That's the road today. I think this is probably the old road bed right here. See, it's kind of humped up. It's got rocks. Goes down that way, and right in the corner here it looks like it's a foundation. Pretty sure that's what this is. You can kind of see squared off somewhat. See how the rocks are set that way, and this way. So you just dug this little button, eh?
Yep.
There you go.
It's my first good find of the day.
Yeah, it's a nice old one. You can see where the shank was on the back, so it's 1700s. It's all yours. I'll let you clean it, but it's nice and solid, which is good. Which is good. So it just cracked in two. So I just dug this interesting little piece of flattened lead. I'm down the hill a ways from my last target, so I think we're really close to something here. I'm hoping. Kind of moved over to a new area, and got a nice signal here. I can actually see it. I was hoping it was going to be a button, but I think it's really thin, so it's probably not. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be much of anything. Maybe inside to a lid. So I'm back in here with the cows, and I was looking at this rock as I went by. I missed this the first time. Curious little hole drilled in there. And there's one over here as well. Those are man-made for sure. Kind of reminds me of the holes that we saw in other rocks on another farm 100 miles from where we are today. Huh, what do you think made them? If you remember in the very beginning of the video, I found a piece of like molten iron I thought was either from an iron furnace or a forge. Lucky. Just found a piece of molten glass, and this is definitely from an iron furnace. This is the well, the molten glass that comes off the top, rises to the top from some of the ore. I guess it's because of the sand that's in it. I'm not exactly sure why, but you find lots of this around iron furnaces. Looks kind of like obsidian. Well, it is obsidian, except it's man-made. Just found this nice little brass buckle. Can't say how old it is for sure, but it's a good find for a day like today. I'm just down below the cistern. That's where they would collect water from the roof drains to use. It's a little turner right there, the lantern wick turner. That's the wick holder. Not a bad little find. I mean, it's, well, it's not a colonial coin, but at least it's something, huh? So I'm working this little foundation down here behind the house. You can see there's a lot of broken glass and some pottery and bricks. Have not found anything like super awesome yet, but I do have a little signal here that sounds pretty good. Pay no attention to the dead starling over there. And there's just loads of artifacts that are broken, you know, the glass and pottery. But there's something right in here. See if we can even find it again. I think I probably dropped it back into here. The problem is there's oh no, that's probably it right here. Is it a light bulb? Oh, that's not it. Well, maybe it is. This is absolutely some type of metal. I'm not sure what that is though. I don't think it's very old. That's why I'm beating it, because I think it's aluminum on the outside. So it's probably hearing a little bit of a squeak of that aluminum and the iron, but that might not be. I'll put that in the bag, what I was hearing. Gosh, so much iron in here. I'll let you listen to it. Let me just take the headphones off for a second. Okay, I actually have the discrimination way up. But I'm going to put the discriminator down and let you listen to the iron in here. It's making me find anything. What I'll have to do is I'll have to move that dirt around a little bit and see if I can find that squeaker again. Might be something right there too. I'll check that out in a minute. I just started digging around a little bit and I got a little buckle. Little square buckle, gave a little bit of a squeak. I don't think there's going to be any good bartles in here because there's too many rocks, but I saw something over here. Yeah, look at that. There's a little grommet. Probably not very old. But I'm going to dig around a bit and see what we can find. That's a little, look, I got a hitchhiker, little birds on it, stuck in my gloves. That's the hole I dug out. I was getting ready to backfill it, but I got a good signal right here. Woo, it's a squeaker. And I can see it's a disc of some sort. I don't know if that's, I don't know what it's going to be. It's not going to be great, so I'm not going to take good care of it, but don't know. Huh. Man, there's just a lot of square nails and stuff in here too. Could be something good. Don't see anything. Still bebopping around the yard, and then I just found, actually somewhat exposed in the grass, a broken axe head. Man, that was hard to use, huh? There you go. Well, that's going to have to wrap it up for me. Todd's still out digging. I don't think it's going to be too much longer. Cool old house, but there's like nothing here that's good. Found out that they've only owned it for like 10 years, so this could have been dogged to death by other detectors for the past 50 years. This is what I ended up with, more or less. And I'm going to leave everything for them. They expressed some interest in the find, so I'm just going to leave everything. I got some keys. I don't think I got that on video. Got a whole cartridge, big old pistol cartridge, and some odds and ends in there. I'm not sure what happened to that little buckle thingy I had, shoe buckle. I don't see that. There's a Spencer casing. That's one of the two things that I found that was, you know, worth keeping, really. The rest of it, oh, you recognize these valve stems from tires. I've been finding a lot of those lately. We're going out again tomorrow, but we're going to a different spot that I have very high hopes for. You should buy it. It's a pretty cool house. Let's get in the next one.
Until I go to sleep, she'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for